What's good, tribe? You know? I was part of a discussion. Excuse me. Part of a discussion on the wonderful world of TikTok. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation. I was having a discussion on TikTok about defunding the police, right? Which I think is the stupidest shit ever. I think it's the dumbest shit ever. And I think it's stupid because who then polices people? Now, I'm not saying people aren't being over policed, right? That's your argument, that's your argument. Let me straighten my camera up, y'all, a little bit here. That's your argument, then that's your argument. If you believe the police are over policing people, that's your argument, that's fine. I don't believe it. I think there's enough police in the areas where there needs to be police, and there is a police presence, not a large police presence, where there doesn't need to be one, right? If you're from Grand Rapids, like I am myself, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and East Grand Rapids is like Muskegon Heights. It's its own little town, right? East Grand Rapids is the wealthiest part of Grand Rapids, the wealthiest, right? It has a police force of maybe like 12 police officers. But East Grand Rapids is massive. It's a massive, massive part of the town. But because it's the wealthiest, it doesn't need a large police force. So you can obviously say that there's a significant number of police there relative to its crime that's there. When I hear this phrase, defund the police, the question I have is, and the question I asked to the people on the panel on TikTok was, who then polices the criminals? Some of y'all have children. You know goddamn well that little bastard should be somewhere underneath somebody's jail. He out here terrorizing folks, but you're not gonna police him. You're not gonna tell him not to do some shit. You're not gonna tell him to stay his ass in the home. You're not strong enough to punish him. There's no father in his life. Your dumb ass is too scary to say something to him, and he out here torturing folks. So how do you police people who can't be policed? I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you where to go. I can't tell you how you act. I can't say shit to you. I can't say anything to you that would then classify as policing, because then I'm being the police. You a cop. You 12. I can't tell you how not to do some shit. I gotta wait till after you do some shit to then go, man, we gotta stop. Y'all sound like goddamn idiots. That's the dumbest shit ever in life. If you can't, we're not allowed to police our own people, y'all want to then defund the police. So let's just say there's 100,000 police officers. I'm gonna say a random city. There's 100,000 police officers in like, give me a second. Say there's 100,000 police officers in the city of Muskegon. I don't know, right? Say Muskegon has 100,000 police officers. Let's say that you idiots get what you want. We're gonna go ahead and defund the police. So they go from, great example of this is Flint. I think at one point in time, Flint had maybe almost 100,000 or more police officers. They're now down to like a tenth of that. It got so bad. Now this is in the last couple of years. It has gotten so bad in the last couple of years that when crimes are committed in Flint, Michigan, you have to actually call another number and schedule a cop to come out to take your report. Meaning, which is absolutely insane. So somebody break into your house, can beat your ass, rob you, and then leave, as long as they don't murder you, right, or do any real bodily harm. They can break in your house, whoop you, beat you down, take your shit, leave. All you can do is call the cops, and the cops will be like, yeah, we got to schedule a time for them to come out. Real shit. The one lady said it took them 2 weeks to come out to respond to her being robbed. Now the kids, like I think she said like 4 or 5 kids. None of the kids had guns. They just broke into her house, beat her up, stole her stuff, and then left. And because there was no like immediate danger, there was nothing they could do. So they scheduled a time for them to come out. It was like 2-3 weeks. Imagine that shit. 2 or 3 weeks. I just got my house broken into. I just got beat up. Now I got to schedule the cops to come out and look at my shit. Y'all know this was a fact. Y'all are the same people who say y'all want to defund the police. That's what happens when you defund the police. That's the dumbest shit ever. From last week, what's today, Sunday? So from Monday of last week up until today, every day this week I've heard of at least, every single day I've heard of at least 4 to 7 people either getting shot or losing their life because of getting shot. Every day this week. Every single day this week. And that's the only ones that's reported. Never mind the stuff that I don't know. And you want to defund the police? And it's so bad in some of y'all neighborhoods, you dumbasses, y'all will never, ever, 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 ever turn in those idiots because then you be the police. So I have to now rally for defunding the police. At the same time, the criminals in my neighborhood, I can't say shit to them. They break into my house. They rob my cousin. I got shot at. My nephew got shot last week. I got all this shit on. I can't say nothing because if I say something, then I'm being the police. And you can't be the police. You can't say nothing. So I have to allow these criminals to now destroy my neighborhood, destroy my property, destroy my sense of peace. I can't police them because if I police them, I'm wrong because I'm trying to be the police. Y'all want to defund the police. So when I call the police and say, hey, my house got broken into, I got robbed, they took my stuff, now I gotta wait 7 weeks for the cops. Like, if I heard that phrase again, I don't understand y'all level of thinking. I will never understand that shit. Never. And God forbid, I should sit there and say, you know what? I want my neighborhood to be safer for my grandchild. If I say that, then I'm being the police as well. I can't tell you not to do some shit because then I'm being the police. I can't tell the police that I got assaulted and or robbed and or almost murdered. I can't say nothing about that. I can't do anything because if I do something, I'm being the police. Then we advocate for it. Not we. No. Then y'all advocate for defunding the police. At no point in that entire goddamn line of logic are you dumbasses making any sense. I can't say nothing to you, none of you idiots out here destroying our community. I can't say nothing to y'all. God forbid the cops should say, hey man, just stop. Man, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. And then fuck if it like it's a real issue. Right? And then I'm a shout out to my man Anton watching this channel. Indianapolis police officer is talking about all the money that the taxpayers pour into Indianapolis police. In this one particular week, the taxpayers said they registered pouring in at least almost $500,000 into the police force for having the police work overtime, solving these different murders, like actually putting in work to solve crimes committed by y'all children. And so the reporter says, what do you think the government can do? Nothing. Because number one, they can't tell your children what to do. Don't tell my child what to do. Don't tell my child what to do. Because if everybody said tell your child what to do, then they're wrong. So we can't tell your child what to do. We can't tell them where to go. No one else could police them. So I think he's like the captain. The captain then says, again, shout out for Anton for his video. The captain then says, nothing. We're doing everything we can do. Exactly. I agree with him. At some point, it falls on the parents to then raise their goddamn children and not the police. It is not the teacher's fault. It is not the cop's job. It isn't Planned Parenthood or whatever kind of other programs you assholes use. It is no one else's responsibility to raise your little bastard ass children but yours and yours only. If you can't handle them, don't have them. Well, what about this? What about being a goddamn parent? What about that? What about raising your children? What about teaching them morality? Huh? I'm gonna tell you what, man. Call me what you want. Call me what you want. I will stand by this forever, rest of my life. It is almost safer. And this is, I never thought I would say this in my life, ever. It is almost safer as a black man to walk my black ass into a Klan rally surrounded by skinheads than it is to walk in the neighborhood around people who look just like me. That shit is safer than being around my own people or my people who look just like me. That's safer. Walking into a Klan rally organized by the KKK, walking into a Klan rally organized by the skinhead is safer than being in a neighborhood around people who look just like me. And if I say anything, I'm the police. Bro, let's have a real conversation, man. The way y'all think is why y'all will always be in your position. Always. Y'all are the generational curse. All y'all are the generational curse. There is shit we gotta stop saying to our children. There is shit we gotta stop advocating for. I don't dick ride because somebody black. I don't hop on a goddamn train because somebody else is doing it. I don't give a damn about that shit. The shit y'all say, man, is insane. And y'all act as if this is normal. We should be saying things like this to our children. What about, listen, as y'all can see my flag in the background, or my banner, right? What happened to having these kind of principles? Whatever happened to advocating for raising children with a solid moral compass? Whatever happened to telling our children to respect authority, to move in society so that you are to move in society in a particular way that then shines you in the best light possible? Whatever happened to just raising good adults? Whatever happened to all those things? And then the first thing y'all assholes want to say is, we got to defund the police. And you idiots are quick to jump on the white man. The white man this, and the white man that, and the white man this. No, you're a shit parent. You're a shit parent. You know you're a shit parent. You are not to raise your children correctly. And so because you're not strong enough, and you're too much of a coward to admit it, you're a shit parent. You put all that responsibility on everyone else except for you. When it's your child, not my child, not their child, it's yours. But it's always the white man's fault, or the police, or Trump, or whatever kind of law he come out with. It's everybody else's fault, not the fact that you don't know how to raise good children. I didn't play that shit with my kids. I don't play that shit. You would have never, ever in your life ever found Kelsey and Steven out in the middle of the night doing anything stupid. I'd have busted goddamn head wide open. I would have. Play that shit. Me and Sherry would have hopped in our car and I'd have hunt their ass down. You finna get your ass in this house and get this work. It's what's finna happen. I don't play that. I never played that. Now, as adults, you want to do some dumb shit, that's on you. But as children, no. Under my watch, under my roof, no. No. I never played that. Felonies? Commit crimes? Hell no. 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 I don't play that. Again, once you're an adult and you decided to take a different path, that's on you. But at what point do y'all decide to go, you know what? What we're doing isn't working. This shit we're saying isn't working. Our beliefs isn't working. None of that shit y'all say will work. None of it will. None of it. Again, the argument I had on TikTok, defund the police, it's gonna be the dumbest shit ever. Now, do we want there to be better do we want there to be a better interaction between citizens and police? Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. I'll tell you one time I got pulled over. Cop pulls me over. So he already has in his mind the kind of guy I am already, right? He pulls me over. Now, up until this point, I hadn't talked to the police almost 15, 20 years, right? It's been a while. And he says, you mind stepping out the car? Now, it was just a simple speeding ticket, right? So I got out. He patted me down, puts me in handcuffs. He said, how come you at no point, argue me pulling out the car? And I said, are you doing something illegal? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, if you're not doing anything illegal and you're doing your job like you should be doing your job, what is there for me to argue? He said, well, I'm just saying normally. I said, no. If you're not doing anything illegal, you're not breaking the law, you're not violating my rights as a human, why would I argue that? Unless you're actually breaking the law, unless you're actually doing something you shouldn't be doing. This is a traffic stop. For whatever reason, you felt the need to put me in handcuffs. Outside of speeding ticket, I hadn't committed a crime, right? You looked at my car, there's nothing that's visibly wrong in my car. You're searching my vehicle, you don't find nothing. So either you are committing a crime or I'm not. He then lets me go. Gets rid of the ticket. Not because of we're good friends, but because, in the courtroom, I'm finna argue to death. I done been there before several times. I done beat a bunch of cases. I was looking at a bunch of time one time in a case. Got that shit knocked down to almost nothing. I argued the evidence. You say this particular thing? Okay, let's go. Let's argue the evidence. You say X, you gotta prove that. I ain't gotta prove shit. I'm innocent. I'm innocent until proven guilty. You gotta prove me guilty. So I'm innocent. You say X, Y, and Z, let's prove it. And people say, well, that's just you because you're different. How am I so goddamn different than you idiots? Why am I so different? What about me is so different and so amazing, y'all can't do the same shit I've done in my life? That part baffles me because I don't understand that part. What I really want to know is, what I really want to understand is, if we start to raise our children the way they should be raised, with moral values, integrity, honor, sacrifice, and commitment, we start to really instill solid moral principles into our children, their lives will look much, 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 much different in 5 to 10 years than they look right now. It's going to take at least another generation for us to start to correct the shit that's going on right now. At least another 10, 15 years. There isn't hope for the culture that's called the black culture. There is no hope at all. There is zero hope. The shit that y'all believe in, the shit y'all advocate for, is destroying our neighborhoods, destroying and then I had somebody to talk about gentrification. If I was a homeowner and I owned a couple properties, and I said, hey, I want to sell those properties, and the guy comes in and buys them, tears them down, and builds up something else, it makes the area more money. Why not? If I'm a homeowner in that area, I don't really have the money to leave. I want it gentrified. Absolutely. Do you know why? Because I'm a homeowner. I want my home's value to be maxed out. If it's right now at $300,000, you come in and gentrify it, and it goes from $300,000 to $6,000. Who don't want that? You know what? I swear to God, it's as if I'm talking to 7-year-olds. And none of y'all has ever thought about anything outside of your emotions. Y'all gauge everything that happens to y'all with y'all emotions. Well, that's wrong, and this wrong, and that's wrong. What about solving the goddamn problem first? What about that? What about actually trying to solve the problem? I walk into neighborhoods, and the first thing I'm looking for is, got my hand on my self-defense tool, because I got to make sure that we leave this area safely. That wasn't a thing 5, 10 years ago. Everywhere they go, I got to make sure that there isn't somebody out to injure me and my family. So I got to carry that thing on me to make sure that we can leave this area safely. I shouldn't have to walk around with my hand on my, waiting. I got what? Okay. No. And it's getting worse. Well, it's the police fault. It can't be. Y'all want to defund them, right? So we go from 100,000 police to 10,000. People now got to call in and record. Not record, schedule. People now have to call and schedule a time for the cops to come out to take a report on an incident that took place 12 days ago. Well, man, what happened? I don't remember. I gotta go to work. I don't remember. Well, you defund the police, so yeah, that's what happens. Go from 100,000 to 10,000 in a city of almost, several million. Like one cop for every 700 people. Those are great numbers. Those are great numbers. It's great numbers. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation, though. Y'all ain't ready for that kind of conversation. Because y'all are the reason why our cities are being destroyed. Y'all are the reason why, as a culture, we are never ever, not we, because I'm not part of that shit. Y'all will never ever have shit because the shit y'all advocate for doesn't serve you at all. None of it does. If you were smart, in any degree, if you were smart, you would go, you know what? This ideology that y'all hold so dear, if it was actually working for you, you will see improvements in your community. You don't see any improvements in your community, dumbass, because it ain't working for you. We gotta change that, man. We have to change that. I am so sick and tired. I am so sick and tired of having a conversation about these young boys, these children, dying at alarming rates because y'all are too afraid to have that conversation. My feelings are going to be hurt. Jesus Christ, man. And then y'all get mad at my videos because I'm saying things too harshly. Well, I think you can say it a little better. Say it a little better. How? Say what? Like what better? What little better do you need to hear me say? The issue is you're not raising your children correctly. That's the issue. The issue is there needs to be more parenting. The issue is, how do you want me to say it? In what way should I say it? Should I write little pretty notes with emojis and smiley faces and hearts and laughing emojis and oh, guess what? You need to raise your children better. I'm sick of that shit. They talk about black fatigue. I got that shit. I told y'all, I would rather go to a Klan rally organized by the skinheads. That to me would be safer than walking my black ass in any black neighborhood, surrounded by people who look just like me, because that wouldn't be safe. How is this safer than this? I walk into a party store, I may not walk out of it. I go to any gas station, especially in the city of Detroit, you walk in any gas station, night or day, you might not walk up out of there because somebody thought you looked like somebody else. And then spray the whole area and take the life of 8 people, but he was only after one guy. However, the 8 people who are not here no more, are none of them are involved. I am just so dumbfounded by the level of absolute ignorance that y'all hold on to. The shit that y'all believe has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. It has to be. I can't. I just can't. Peace.